Over the last few years, I've noticed a dearth of new superstars and bands breaking through on the music scene. And a recent article in the trade magazine Billboard confirmed my long-held suspicions. The piece reports that music executives are feeling depressed at the state of a stagnant music industry. So what are some of the reasons that popular music is in decline? How has TikTok impacted the discovery and development of new artists? Why have hardly any new superstars or bands broke through in recent times? And might this be the end of big cultural moments? So many questions, let's find out. TikTok, the user-generated short video platform, has become the Gen Z medium of choice for music, a key player in breaking new acts and scoring a chart hit in today's music industry, sort of like what MTV was back in the day. According to an article from The New Yorker from 2022, TikTok had reached 1 billion active users worldwide by mid-2021, and a whopping 67% of all American teenagers use the app. The app also tends to attract a much younger audience when compared with other social media behemoths such as Twitter and Instagram. TikTok merged in 2017 with Musical.ly, a lip-sync battle app. It allowed fans to make their own videos with clips of their favorite songs, usually with an accompanying dance, which can help the song gain traction and hopefully go viral. Music fans are now key players in promoting their favorite artists' records. It was TikTok's audience engagement which helped Lil Nas X's Old Town Road go viral and become a huge chart hit, spending a record-breaking 19 consecutive weeks at #1 in America. Lizzo's track About Damn Time is another song which went viral on the platform and subsequently found mainstream success. The record icon at the bottom of the TikTok page allows users to see more info on the artist and the song. And from there they can listen to the whole song, usually on a streaming platform such as Spotify or Apple. And the platform's interactivity features encourage virality of songs much more so than other social media networks. TikTok is more engineered for the promotion of single songs as opposed to the artist and their brand. And the short videos with clips of music format means that users become acquainted with part of the track, not the whole thing, which runs the risk that maybe when listeners do get the chance to hear the entire song, they might not like it. And in keeping with the limited attention span of Gen-Zers, the music and the video on the platform needs to grab the attention of the audience almost instantaneously. Tracks need to be immediately accessible. And sometimes a song goes viral because of something beyond the actual song clip. It might be the dance or the performance of the song or the creator of the video which appealed to audiences. The traditional route of artist development used to involve years and years of slogging around small venues or shopping centres and schools for pop stars to develop your stagecraft and build an audience. But this has been mostly negated by TikTok, which allows aspiring artists to potentially reach millions and in turn secure a recording deal long before they're actually ready to have a professional music career. Music managers and record companies haven't been willing to invest in the development of new artists for some time now. But at least pre-TikTok, you needed to be well developed before signing a deal. Record execs are now so afraid of missing out on the next big TikTok star, they are willing to sign artists who are not well developed. But can the success of a 30-second viral clip really be indicative of long-term star power and genuine music talent? Can TikTok's data really determine a music artist's future prospects? There are countless examples of the biggest stars in the world who were in training pretty much all of their lives before they broke through, whether they were dancing, performing, singing, or learning an instrument. Madonna was dancing from a young age and in numerous bands starting in her late teens, before hitting the big time age 26. Britney Spears was dancing as an infant, and Lady Gaga started learning the piano age 4. TikTok has indirectly interfered with the organic development of music artists, which I highly doubt will be conducive to the long-term health of the industry. Record companies want to sign artists with pre-existing fan bases, which should reduce the level of risk involved and make them easier to break. Labels no longer have the patience to spend years developing acts, investing huge sums of money with no guarantee of any return at the end. According to the John Seabrook article in The New Yorker from 2022, artists with okay music but huge TikTok followings would be more attractive to record labels than artists with superior music but no following on TikTok. And the level of engagement and number of followers a music artist has on the platform can also determine the quality of the record deal they ultimately get. Whilst most social media promotion for a music act can be assigned to the record company's social media team, TikTok requires that the artist in question has to be involved. A large part of the appeal of TikTok is its lo-fi DIY aesthetic. Some musicians don't want to be a social media personality or a part-time comedian / talk show host / content creator, but in 2023 they don't seem to really have a choice. TikTok has now replaced radio and music television as gatekeepers to mainstream music success. The industry is now at the mercy of not just another powerful corporation, but also the unpredictable beast that is the platform's algorithm. We can't be entirely sure just how it works, but we do know it uses artificial intelligence and mines users' activity on the app to gather copious amounts of data. There have also been numerous reports that music executives plan on signing more music artists who are likely to have mid-sized careers to compensate for the shortfall in revenue caused by the dearth of superstars coming on the scene. And whilst having an international music career would still require signing a record deal with a major, the need for a record company and in turn signing away so much control is diminishing. There are already a number of platforms which allow artists to distribute their music to streamers, and you can now earn a good income from touring and merchandise without ever signing a record deal. And if anything highlights the shortage of exciting new stars coming on the scene, surely it's the fact that the industry now earns more money from its catalogues than current music. And for the year 2021, catalogue music passed new music streams according to MRC data. In fact, catalogue music accounts for 75% of all streams. Music which is 18 months or older qualifies as catalogue music, which is a pretty drastic change when you think of how we consume music 20 years ago, mostly from record stores which stocked almost all new music. Pre-streaming, we didn't have much access to back catalogues at all. Older generations are now starting to subscribe to the streaming platforms in large numbers, which is very much reflected in these figures. And the TikTok algorithm doesn't discriminate when it comes to older music. It regularly makes songs which are decades old go viral, including Fleetwood Mac's Dreams and Celine Dion's It's All Coming Back to Me. And record and publishing companies can earn far more money from their back catalogues than from new music. The success of older songs has already been proven, and there is none of the operational costs involved with making and marketing new records. Maybe we don't really need many new pop stars. Now we have so much access to all this older music. Although K-pop stars such as BTS are a global pop phenomenon, there has been a notable absence of bands at the forefront of mainstream music in recent times. There are still plenty of bands from previous decades on the touring and festival circuits, but it's hard to dispute that in today's music landscape, the band is starting to look like an endangered species. A cursory glance at the UK top 40 at the time of recording this video reveals that only one band was on the whole of the charts: hip-hop group D Block. over on the Spotify Global Top 50, things are only marginally better. I was able to find just 2 groups, Arctic Monkeys and New Jeans. As for the UK Top 40 Albums chart, the bands on the list are virtually all legendary acts who've been around for decades. According to an article in The Guardian from 2021 on the subject matter, technology has of course played a key role in the decline of bands. Younger people who are curious about making music no longer need to assemble different instrumentalists. They can create all these different sounds already at home on their computers. Also, setting up a band, buying instruments and equipment, paying for rehearsal space and for transport to and from gigs can really add up. Getting a band off the ground is a very expensive and high-risk venture. We used to be able to rely on mainstream media and to some degree talent shows to introduce us to different bands and their members. But social media is much more individualistic. Apps such as TikTok, Instagram and Twitter all work on a vertical orientation, as you already know, which of course is much more accommodating to solo artists. And the pandemic and successive lockdowns have also made it far more difficult for bands to form. With the media continuing to become increasingly fragmented and audiences for legacy media brands plummeting year on year right around the world, it's harder for new pop music to be truly popular and for cultural phenomena to happen. Major labels now need promotional campaigns that can impact a far more diverse media landscape. And apps such as TikTok and streaming platforms have greater interactivity and personalization than traditional media, such as radio, the decline of which has been compounded by the pandemic. The medium tends to attract its largest audiences during commuting hours, so breakfast and drive time shows. And with the huge surge in people working from home, this development has hit radio figures in a big way. And music on mainstream television has mostly fallen away, with few opportunities for music artists to perform. A television show dedicated to music acts with videos of the performances then used as social media content seems like an obvious option to me. But I'm not entirely sure why nobody wants to make music shows anymore. Perhaps the figures just don't add up. And with infinite content on offer, you can always click or swipe onto another song if bored. Previously with radio or music TV, lots of songs were put in front of you which you might not have liked, but you probably listened to them anyway. The Billboard article that I cited at the beginning of the video also talks about how there have been some artist breakthroughs in recent years, but in specific genres. Pop crossovers are now an anomaly. Music has become so much more compartmentalized, partly due to the influence of playlists and a much more diverse media landscape. So it's probably not all that surprising these are the results. The article also lists Doja Cat and Olivia Rodrigo as the only superstars to really break through in recent years. These two, along with Billie Eilish, are some of the biggest superstars of the 2020s. But I would argue that there are plenty of people who haven't heard any of their music. There have been some moments approaching monoculturalism with these artists, but nothing compared to the biggest stars of the 2000s, such as Britney or Beyonce. The same thing has also taken place in the movie industry, with many movie critics writing articles heralding the death of the movie star. Gen-Zers, those who were born from the mid to late 90s up until the early 2010s, are now starting to come of age. They are the first truly digital native generation who do not know a world without smartphone technology and social media. They've grown accustomed to instant gratification, watching TV without schedules, clicking or swiping when a video or song gets boring. One of my theories for the decline of popular music is that children growing up in a digital world will feel less inclined to learn a musical instrument. When previous generations experienced boredom, they might sometimes turn to creative endeavours to occupy their time, whether that be writing, drawing, or learning how to play a musical instrument. They didn't have the overabundance of entertainment and information options at their fingertips at all times that Gen-Zers do. Why dabble in creative activities when you already have a smartphone to stave off boredom? I'm sure those who are destined to be musicians will gravitate towards instruments, but it is still concerning nonetheless. And there's also the fact that being a pop star or a rock star no longer holds the same cachet that it once did. Pop music is no longer at the forefront of youth culture or pop culture for that matter. Social media is. Countless articles over the years have proclaimed entrepreneurs and influencers as the new pop stars and rock stars. How can the music industry compete against all these other entertainment and gaming options? It never had to previously. In an era of infinite choice, the abundance of entertainment is overwhelming. It was reported in Variety in 2022 that over 100,000 songs are uploaded to streaming services every single day. Whilst the magic of listening to music and connecting with your favourite artists remains the same, the scene has undeniably changed forever. Current music might not be in the most promising place it's ever been, but everything must fluctuate and evolve. And hopefully we'll be experiencing an upturn soon, caused by the shortfall in revenue. To compensate, testing, Spotify or Apple. Succeeding in the music industry has always been challenging, and plenty of our biggest superstars struggle to break in, and even some industry professionals fail to see their potential. If you would like to learn more about how Madonna, the Beatles and Gaga were turned down for record deals, click here. And if you got value from this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.